welcome to this episode of Beauty to Bank. I am your host, Season Bennett. Beauty to Bank is the number one place on the web where beauty professionals learn how to make money without standing behind the chair. Each and every week, I hope to inspire, motivate, and inform you about how you can take your knowledge of the beauty industry straight to the bank. First things first, I want to make sure that everybody can hear me okay. If you can hear me, go ahead and drop a 1 into the comments. Okay, this is what I do each and every week. Okay, Beauty to Bank, here we are. I'm super excited about this topic that we are talking about today because y'all listen, it took me a long time to figure this piece out. Okay, now y'all know. Okay, for those of you guys who know me and know me well, you guys know that I'm always talking about losing weight. Yes, I am. Okay. I'm always talking about it. Okay. Because it's something constant, consistent that you need to work on. It's, as soon as you let your guard up, right? You could be doing really well. But as soon as you let your guard up, then that weight can creep back up. Okay. Now, one of the things that we always talk about when we are talking about, losing weight is having an accountability partner, right? Having somebody who, a workout partner, somebody who can come with you to the gym, somebody who can actually tell you like, hey, like, when you're kind of slacking and you don't feel like going to the gym, the person can be like, hey, Season, knock, knock, knock. Where are you? Are you coming to the gym? Right. And that's how it works. That's what it means to have an accountability partner. Okay. And so that is what I want to talk to you about today is having an accountability partner for your business and specifically for your online business with digital content. Okay. For those of you guys who don't know, I've had my online school, Social Barber Academy, since 2015, and it took me up till 2020 to learn how to make six figures with digital content alone. Okay. Now, there's a couple things, I've developed a whole strategy to help other people get there quicker. No one should have to wait 5 years to be able to make six figures with digital content. Like you shouldn't have to do that. Okay. You guys don't have to. I've made all the mistakes, so you do not have to. All right. So, one of the big pieces is having accountability. Okay. That is a huge piece of the puzzle. Okay. For sure. Having an accountability partner, having all of that good stuff, that is super important. All right. So, with that being said, I want to talk to you about how important it is. Okay. Now, when it comes to courses and things like that, all right. Um, Sadly, there's a very small percentage of people who join online classes and actually finish the content and implement. It's somewhere around 7%. Did you hear me? Seven. Okay. 7%. It's literally like 7% of people who actually go ahead and take a course will actually execute on the content. It's such a small amount of people. And what it is, it has something to do with this accountability piece. Okay. A lot of times, what happens is that people are not executing on the knowledge that they learn. So they could learn about something, but they are not actually executing. And that's the problem. Okay. Now, for me, I'm not the kind of person that I don't want people to join my programs and not implement. Like, I don't want that. Like, whatever people join, whatever class people take from me, I want them to get what they paid for. Okay. So, really, what you're paying for is the knowledge. When you purchase an online class, you're really paying for the knowledge. You're paying for, hey, how do I do ABC 1, 2, 3, right? That's what you're paying for. The knowledge, like, hey, Season's done this before. Let me take a class from Season so I can learn how to do this thing, whatever the thing is, right? I want to learn how to make six figures with digital content. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna join Season's class because she's done it. Let me figure out how she does it, right? Now, this is the problem. Okay. The problem is it's not enough that I tell you how to do it. All right. For me, it's not enough. For a lot of other people, they're like, hey, I got my money. I don't care. But for me, I want people to execute. Okay. So there's a thing called gamification. So basically it's a points and reward system. Okay. It's a point and reward system. And some large corporations do this a lot. So they have trainings and things that you have to do online. So yes, large corporations, you guys know in 2017, I quit my job as a vice president at a Fortune 50 company to become a full-time entrepreneur. Okay. And during that time, one of the things that we had to do all the time, um, one of the things that we had to do all the time, we had to take these every single year. We had to take these online trainings, and they would give us points, or just different things like that. And so that's something that I'm implementing into my six-figure business system. Okay, because it's too important. I need people to execute on the knowledge. All right. And so what happens is it allows other people to become accountable. Okay, so with my six-figure business system, now you guys know that that is my strategy that I created to teach you how to make six figures with digital content alone. Okay. So with that being said, this is how it works. Okay. So people can come to, my group coaching program has multiple phases to it, right? There is um pre-recorded content. Okay, so that way, any time of day, you're able to go watch the lessons pre-recorded. We have weekly live meetings, like live meetings. They're not webinars. Currently, we're able to have it where people can actually unmute their microphone. They can ask their questions. They can share their screen, and if need be, I can even take over their screen from mine. Okay, so that's currently what we have. And then we've also got a private community. So even outside of our regular meetings, people can go online and they can ask questions and communicate in the private community. Okay. Now, the way that I become, this is a new portion here, this reward system that I have. So what I've done is I've asked a lot of the members of my group, like, hey, what are the types of things that you care about? What type of rewards do you want? Okay. And so a lot of people, what they've told me, hey, I want, I want more time with you. I want I want to make more money. I want to learn how to do other things. I want to offer digital certificates, right? So I don't want to manually write my certificates every time that somebody, takes a class from me. I want them to be able to fill out the digital certificate and it automatically be sent to them. Okay. So there's tons of things that people are telling me that they want. Hey, I want to join you on the Beauty to Bank show. There's a lot of different things that people have told me that they want. And so I said, hey, let's do this. You got to earn it, right? Just like we do, right? With anything else, it's like, hey, you got to earn it. I'd love to do these things for you, but I want to push you because I know it's only through execution that you're going to get the results that you want. Just like losing weight, right? Just because I know how to lose weight doesn't mean I'm going to all of a sudden start tracking my calories, my macros, drinking my water, exercising, right? We all know what to do. We all know how to lose weight, right? But it's the action that matters. Okay? It's not enough. Knowing is not enough. It's the action that matters. You have to take the action to actually do the thing to get the results that you want. Okay? And so that is how it works. All right. So what I've done is I've created an awards program. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like, how it works. Okay. So basically, what happens here, and I'm going to share my other screen here. Okay, so this is my little dashboard, okay? And I'm gonna see if let me see if I can make this a little bigger for y'all, okay? All right. So I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger and I'm gonna scroll down here, okay? So basically what happens, this is a little leaderboard, okay? So some things are happen automatically. Like one of the things that happens automatically is that I get points for attending our live meetings. Okay, people get points for that, for actually attending the live meetings. Okay, we have those every single week. Those points are granted automatically. Okay, now there's a lot of other things. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Pierre, for sharing. Okay, so there's a lot of other things that you can do every single week. Okay, and so what happens is people will have to submit their content. Okay, so if they click on this button here, it will actually show them how that they can go ahead and submit their content. Okay, and they can tell me so if they made their first sale, so it's not just about how much money you made. There's a lot of different ways that people are able to, people are able to go ahead and get points. Okay, so like let's say if they made their first sale, if they taught their first class, if they taught a class for this month, right? If they taught a class for this month, if they attended the weekly live Q&A, remember I told you that that's awarded automatically. If they created an offer for this month, guys, if you don't promote something, nobody can purchase it. Okay, literally, you have to promote what you're selling or else people will not know. Okay, You can send out an email about the offer of the month. You can send out a value add email. Okay, so all of these things, they're little things. They're all little pieces of the pie, but they build up to something big. And this is going to get people to the results that they want. Okay. So even, you don't want to just send out emails when you want something. You want to give people information that they really can value, they can need, and they can use. Okay. Um, Post a flyer with the page, with the offer of the month. Now, the crazy part about it, I try to take away all of the thinking in my program. So even with the posting a flyer, I have flyer templates. Okay. So even if you're like, listen, I don't know how to do a flyer, I don't know who to hire, you don't have to hire anybody. I literally give you a flyer template. You can dump your picture in there, your information. Okay. Yes. All right. Hey, Lakia. Hey, Aaliyah. All right. You can go live on Instagram to to discuss your offer of the month. Save it to IGTV. You can go live on Facebook. So it's there's all kinds of things that you can do on here at different levels. Okay. Now, the point of all of this is about execution. Okay. And all of this, these are just the points. This is the rank. So far, Lisa has submitted her content. So Lisa is in first place so far. I imagine after this live, Lisa may or may not be in first place anymore. Okay. Okay, Pierre, I'm not quite sure what you meant about, you said the assignments and doing the homework. When you do, a lot of this stuff has to do with doing the actual work, right? In the 30-day launch. So all of these, a lot of this stuff is in here. That's what you're getting points for executing on the work. Okay. Yep, for sure. So this is how many points people currently have. And then this is their rank. So Lisa's in first, but we have several people right now in second place. And then then we have multiple people in 13th place as well. Okay. And it kind of, with rank, it's based on, what number. Okay. So this is all about taking action. Okay. Because it's not enough, right? Knowing how to do something. Okay. It's not enough knowing how to do something. You have to execute on the knowledge. You're not going to get the results. Okay. No matter what your goal is in life, you're not going to get the results of that execution, whether it's losing weight, whether it's saving money, whether it's building your credit. I know, Mika is teaching a class on credit. Okay. All of this stuff, it does not matter if you do not, right? If you do not execute on the knowledge. So that's what this is about. Okay. This is about having accountability. This is about me tapping you on your shoulder saying, hey, Lucretia, where's your class? Hey, Pierre, where's your class for the month? Right? It's about making sure that you understand, and execute. Because to be honest, I'm saying making sure that you understand, but some things aren't going to make sense until you execute. Okay. There's a lot of confusion. We have so many distractions out there. There's so many different people talking about, just even with this, right? I'm talking about, digital content and making money online. And there's so many people talking about it. Okay. I have my own strategy. I did not take a class and just regurgitate what I learned from somebody else. Sadly, I learned this strategy and I developed this strategy the hard way. I made a lot of mistakes, and that's how I came up with my strategy. Okay. I made a lot of mistakes, literally, so many mistakes. And so that's why I want you to understand, what I'm saying, that you have to execute. Okay. Some of these things, they're not gonna make sense. Like sometimes people will come to me and they'll say, hey, Season, did you can't you do it like this, or can't you use this, or you're using Kajabi, can't you use another platform, you're doing this, you're doing that? Yes, you can. There's a lot of different ways to execute. Just like we're talking about losing weight, people could say, oh, I do keto, I do low carb, I do this, I do. All of these things can get you to the finish line. Okay. But there's a couple things you can't do. Okay. You cannot mix a low carb diet and, let's say one that's high in fruits and veggies. Like, you can't do these things. You can't mix each person's recipe. So you have to master one recipe. And the only way you can master these things is by execution. You got to do the work. All right. Yep. Okay. So let's see. We've got really hot things going on in the comments. I'm going to pull up some of these things so that we can kind of look at it together. All right. So let me pull up some of these. Okay. Let's see. All right. So Cassandra said, yes, everyone wants to be a coach and teach, but it's the skill and strategies for execution. Yes, you have to execute. Okay. You're not going to get to the results that you want without execution. Okay. Pierre said, Yes, gamification is the future for all kinds of stuff digitally, for sure. So gamification, that is what it's called with this points and reward system. It's called gamification. Okay. Now I looked online. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. There's a lot of different huge corporations, smaller companies, and everything that do this. And they have a lot of platforms for it, and it can get kind of pricey. Okay. So I kind of developed my own strategy because even if I chose some of the pricier options, what was going to happen is that I'd still be trying to fit a round peg in a square hole and be paying top dollar for that. So I was like, let me put this thing together that is specific to my community, specific to the tenants in my program, specific to the things that I want people to accomplish. Okay. Yes, for sure. For sure. Okay. Let's see. Cassandra also said yes and not procrastinating. Okay. Procrastination can be horrible. Anything that you're trying to accomplish, procrastination is just going to take you out. It's going to take you all the way out. And that's why for my program, what I really want people to do is I want people to understand. I try to get people not to think. I know you're like, what do you mean, Season? I am really working on getting people not to think. Okay. I don't want people to think because when people think, guess what happens? Okay. When they're thinking, then now people are thinking too hard about how to do things. And it's not about thinking, it's about execution. And sometimes if you sit there and you try to think about, well, should I do this? Should I not do it? If you don't know enough about something, it's not going to make sense. Okay. I have a great example. So one of my students, one of the things I tell people all the time, I said, hey, when you're teaching a live class, do not teach it from a mobile device. Like, do not teach it from your iPad or your phone. Okay. And so one of my students, she went out of town and she accidentally forgot her laptop at home. And she said, well, I got my iPad. No big deal. I got my iPad. I know Season said, okay. I know Season said to do this, but you know, but I got my iPad, so I should be fine, right? And so she said she went to do the class and she said, y'all listen, do whatever Season tells you to do because I went ahead and I did that with my iPad and it was rough. It was very rough. It was very hard to do the class. Okay. So a lot of times people, I like to teach people the one right way. I don't want to say, oh, you could do this, you could do, and I used to do that. I'm gonna be honest with you. People used to ask me questions. They say, well, can't we do this? Or can't we do that? And I say, yeah, you can. So now when I teach my classes, I always teach people one right way. Okay. If you do it one right way that works for 95% of people, then guess what? You only have to learn. There's a whole bunch of other ways to do it. Okay. But you want to learn one right way. Okay. And that's through execution. Once you have executed several times, then you can switch up the formula. Okay. Now we're having some great comments and discussion and debate here. Okay. Now, Pierre asked this question. He said, can we get points for sharing our classmates' content and posts? I love it. I would love. What do you guys think about that? I would love to add that. I would love to get you guys points for sharing other people's content. Okay. And I'm also to be on, I love that. I love that because it is a community. We have such an amazing, group and community of people. And that part I couldn't control, right? I couldn't control who was going to join my program. But we have an amazing group of people. Okay. Yes. And so, yeah, I love that idea, Pierre. I would love to add that in there. Okay. So, sharing each other's content, I love it. I'm going to add that in there immediately. Okay. As soon as we get off of here, I'm going to add that one in. I love it. Okay. Yep. Okay. So, talking about, if you guys are just joining, we've been talking about accountability. Okay. Accountability. And what I'm looking to do is that I've actually, with my program, I have developed it, my six-figure business system. I keep changing it and updating it and pushing people like, oh, I need you to jump off that 10-foot diving board. I know it's scary. I know this is the first time you've ever done it. But guess what? You're not going to even get points in life without executing. Okay. And so for me, when I think about, things that I want to do in my life, I really try to live my life without regrets. Okay. And so when I say this, it's like, we have ideas, we have all these goals and everything that we want to do in our mind. But if we don't actually do them, we get frustrated, we start to feel disappointed. And sometimes certain things in our life, the time kind of passes for that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like if we didn't execute, it's kind of like the time has passed. And so for me, I always go really hard because I don't want to have regrets. I don't want to regret, like, dang, I should have gotten started before everybody else. Dang, I really wanted to do an online class. I wanted to open my own online school. I wanted to start doing these things online. I don't want to have regrets. Okay. That's me. I don't like to have regrets. And so for me, I don't want other people to have those regrets as well. And so that's why sometimes I go so hard. Okay. So when it comes to accountability, I have developed this point in a reward system so I can be your accountability partner. Okay. And even to the point of I'm even going to, I'm going to give you the game. And guess what? I'm going to reward you for executing on the game that I've given you. Okay. Because for me, it's deeper than, yes, I love teaching online, but it's not enough for me just to teach you. I need you to get it. I need you to learn. I need you to execute. And I need you to make money. Okay, I do have multiple students that are trending towards six figures as well. So I know that the system does work, but it does not work if you don't work it, right? You have to take the action. You have to take the action. You have to do the thing. And sometimes when people don't get the results that they want, and literally, I am guilty of this, okay? Sometimes when we don't get the results that we want, we mistakenly think that it didn't work. Okay. When it's not about the fact that it didn't work, maybe we actually learned something. Okay. We might have learned, guess what? My audience doesn't want that class. Okay. That might have been one of the things that we learned. My audience doesn't want that. That's kind of crazy, right? We don't think about it like that. We just think, oh no, this doesn't work. Like all these people online, they're lying. They're not really making six figures because this doesn't make any sense. That's listen, these are the conversations. I'm hearing the conversations, okay? And so sometimes what we have to look at, we have to figure out why didn't it work? Why didn't we get the results that we wanted? Okay. A big thing could be that people don't see you as an educator because guess what? You've never done it before. And that's easy to overcome, but you have to be consistent and you have to keep pushing that to your audience and letting them know you have to show up. Okay? You have to show up, okay? And the way you show up is through execution. It doesn't happen overnight and it's so frustrating, but I will tell you this, when you execute, it does not matter how many followers you have. It doesn't matter if you've ever done it before. Nothing matters, okay? When you are consistent, okay? When you are consistent, you will always get to the finish line. All right? It might not be at the time that you want to be, but you're going to get there. You are going to get there. And sometimes, you just need the roadmap, okay? Okay. Hey, Pam said, okay, so let me talk. I need to talk to Pam about this. I love talking to you guys like in real time right here. Okay. So Pam Crockett said, I need a product, a class, etc. I'm going to keep my day job and maybe in 3 to 5 years. Pam, you have to start now. Okay. You have to start now. And so I'm not telling you to quit your day job. I'm telling you that you need to learn in the meantime. Okay. You need to learn in the meantime. All right. You have to learn. You have to start executing until it gets to a point where it's like, oh, does it make sense? Is the trade off worth it? Like, it doesn't even make sense for me to keep this full time job. Okay. But you have to start now. Okay. You have to start building your audience. You have to start building not even your audience, your community. Okay. A lot of times what happens, when I talk to a lot of people, Pam, what happens is that they'll tell me, I say, oh, do you want to teach a class online? They're like, oh, I want to. That sounds amazing. Yes, I always want to do that. But first, I need to get more followers. Nope, that's not what you need. You don't need more followers. You need a community. You need people who buy into you, people who believe in you. And when you start thinking in that way, you don't need a whole bunch of followers to get to six figures. Okay. You don't need a whole bunch of followers. You need the people who rock with you no matter what you're doing. And they don't know who you are. You can't build a community without actually executing. You have to jump out there. You have to do the thing. Okay. You actually have to execute. And if you do not execute, you're not going to get results. Like that's just kind of how it works. Okay. That is literally kind of how it works. And it's kind of frustrating and it's kind of scary. It's super scary. Okay. You know, all right. And okay, so Pam said I've been an instructor, but it was in IT. I was online learning Thinkific until two. I got it, but now what am I going to teach? Okay. Yes. So if you guys have questions, you guys can DM me. I do have a limited number of one-on-ones that I do. I do these strategy sessions. That's why I really love doing strategy sessions because, I used to think, right? I I used to think because I'm very technical, right? And so I just thought, oh, it's just about, the actual technical execution. Okay. I thought it was about the technical piece, but guys, what if I told you that the technical part doesn't even matter? Okay? What if I told you that the technical part, it doesn't matter as much? It's about executing. And the thing is, like, I know everybody's so worried about making a mistake, but when you build that audience, they just want the information that you have and they're going to be patient with you. So it's more about you're not going to learn until you do. Just like if you're talking about coloring hair, cutting hair, shaving, whatever skill that you have, you weren't instantly good at it because you watched a video. You had to practice. And the same thing goes for online. It's not an overnight thing. And I could be costing myself a lot of sales by telling you this. I'm not going to lie about this. You have to execute. You're going to get better. It's the same thing. It is a skill, okay? And yeah, and if you need help, you need a kick in your butt, you need an accountability partner, you need, the steps. And that's what I really like to do. Like, listen, just follow these steps, ABC, 1, 2, 3, like just do exactly like this. Watch my screen step by step. My mouse is highlighted in yellow. All of that kind of stuff. That's what I really, really focus on with my audience because I know that they need to get there. Okay. Now, Daniel, okay, Daniel, I love what he said. He said, it got real when I posted my first class for the end of this month. Congratulations, Daniel. He is definitely part of my six-figure business systems, and he knows I have been pushing everybody, like, y'all, okay? I have been pushing everybody so hard lately because I was like, I don't want y'all coming up here looking at me being entertained. Y'all need to do the work. Okay. So that's, and this is part of this. And, this is part of it is actually doing the execution. That's why I came up with this reward system. So I'm really excited about this. Okay. Lakia Curtis said, it's long overdue for me to do classes. I have so much to offer, and actually love educating others. I love it too. Okay. I love it too. And Lakia, I'm sure that you'll agree with me on this. When you teach any class, whether it's in person, online, whatever it is, when you teach classes, it's really exhausting. Like when you're teaching, you're giving so much. Like I literally will feel physically exhausted, but I feel fulfilled. You understand what I'm saying? I feel fulfilled because I know that this is going to help somebody else. I know that the information that I have is going to change somebody else's life. Like like change their life. That's to me that's kind of scary when I sit back and I think about that because it puts a burden on me. You understand what I'm saying? A burden on me that, oh my gosh, God has gifted me with this knowledge and I need to share it. It's not mine to keep, it's mine to share. Okay? And so that was scary to me. It's a different accountability to myself. I'm accountable to God. Like, God's like, hey, you need to help other beauty professionals learn how to make money online. And it's like, whoa, like I really got to get my message out here because I care. And it's not just enough about, people watching me, coming to my weekly Zooms, any of that. It's not enough. I need people to educate. Okay. Cassandra said, yes, that's the difference in people's hustles. Who's serious about the execution? Okay. So what I'm doing now, I have revamped my six-figure business system to add this additional piece about accountability because that's how you get things done. Okay, so even if people don't have, I hear a lot of beauty professionals saying things like, "Hey, my family doesn't support me, and it's really hard." And so what I've done is, even if you don't have a business bestie, even if you don't have an accountability partner, you've got me. Okay. And I'm doing everything I can to get my people to jump off that 10-foot diving board. So I want to invite you guys. I actually, if you looked into the description here of this, I want to invite you guys on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm actually doing a live masterclass where I'm going to be breaking down how the mistakes that I made, the things that I've learned, and how I was finally able to, after almost 5 years, learn how to make six figures with digital content alone. Guys, it was a long road for me, but I know this system works. And it doesn't just work for me, it works for other people too, through execution, of course. So if you want to hear more about it, I encourage you to go ahead and register. There are limited tickets available, okay, for this live event. And I'm going to be talking to you about a lot of the mistakes. There's a lot of misinformation going on. There's, I'm saying, and a lot of people, they're like, but Season, I did the thing, I executed, I recorded my class and I put it up there and nobody bought. And I know why. Okay. There's like so many reasons why somebody didn't buy your class. There's a lot of reasons. And I know a lot of those reasons why. And so that's why I want to talk to you about them, because the thing is, all of you guys can make money online. Every single one of you, all you have to do is share your knowledge. Okay. That's all you have to do. You're sharing what you know. And every single one of us is an expert in something. Okay. There's something that we know that we take for granted. We don't think twice about it. We could do it with our eyes closed, but somebody else wants to know that. So even if you look up to somebody else and you're like, oh man, this person is so amazing. This person knows how to do, these things. I don't want to teach classes because I'm not as good as they are at this thing. It doesn't matter. Okay. It doesn't even matter, because guess what? There is somebody, even if you're at a level 5, there are people that are at levels 4, 3, 2, and 1 that want to know what you know. They want to understand what you know and they want to learn from you. Okay. So this is your opportunity to understand, how do you take your knowledge and package it up? So this is just extra income. And guys, the numbers on digital content is crazy. Like the numbers. Okay. The numbers. Okay. And I've shared this with you guys before, but I know sometimes when people are talking about stuff, like it literally sounds like, it doesn't even sound real. You know what I'm saying? It literally doesn't even sound real. I've heard people say things to me like, oh, this sounds like a scam. You know what I'm saying? Like, this doesn't even sound real. Okay. So even when I'm talking about the numbers of, that you don't need a lot of followers, when I'm saying this, people are like, okay, Season, you got 140,000, blah, 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 this and that. Okay. I'm going to show y'all this one more time. I've shared this with you guys before, but I'm going to share this with you guys one more time. I'm going to make my screen bigger so y'all can see this, okay? With my strategy, it does not take a lot, okay? With my strategy, it does not take a lot, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and share this. Share my screen here. Okay, so with my strategy, look at this. Even with selling 50 tickets at $65, okay, you could make about $6,000. Okay. So even if, let's say, your main, like, you don't need it, look, 50 tickets. Okay. Most people on here have at least 50 followers, right? Okay. All right. Guys, listen. How many people on here have less than 50 followers online? Okay. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see anybody saying that. Guys, you don't need a lot of followers in order to make money. Okay. So even if I just charge $47 to a class, and I've gone, you guys are going to probably, I go into this calculator a lot more. This is part of my program. Okay. But, basically I always have a main class and I always add an order bump and an upsell, just additional things that people can add to their cart. And so when you look on here and you see, it's very easy. Look at this, 100 tickets for a $47 class. You can get to almost $10,000. Y'all, do you, listen, do you guys see this? A $47 class with a $27 upsell, and then I'm sorry, a $27 order bump. Okay. Hey, David. Okay. Do you guys see this? This is almost $10,000. Okay. $10 short. We can call it $10,000. Okay. So the math works. Okay. The math works. Okay. 100. Everybody on here has 100 followers, right? I think everybody on here has 100 followers. So that is not, what I'm saying? Like, we're going to take that away. Okay. We're going to completely take that whole situation away about why it doesn't work. Okay. All right. I'm Pam. Ooh, I love it. Pam has asked me a lot of questions. Okay. And I'm now, Pam, and I don't know how well you know me, Pam, but everything I say is with love on here. And this is for everybody. But I'm glad you're asking these questions, because these are the kind of questions that people have in their mind. Because what I want to talk through these questions, because I want to take these doubts, I want to take these things away from people, because I just want to leave you with the facts, because as long as we feel these certain types of way, then why would we work so hard, because it's not going to work for us, right? So Pam said the class has to educate, empower, and entertain. And she said YouTube has given a lot away, not being negative. Okay. Let's talk about that, because that's a great question. Okay. So YouTube has given away a lot, but it doesn't give away everything. Okay. Then on top of that, guys, listen, there's so many things I looked at on YouTube and it was not there. I went and looked, like I literally went on YouTube so many times, you guys, looking for the answers to my questions, and they weren't there. Okay. All right. And they can give you a lot of information, and you should give a lot. That's how you build an audience. That's how you build a community. But the thing is that even if somebody can go find something for free on YouTube, that does not mean that they wouldn't rather learn it from you. Okay. Now, let's say for argument's sake, Bill Gates is online, and and I'm only using him as an example because he's got he's a little dry. Okay. Look, a little dry. Okay. If you guys know what I'm talking about, he has a little bit of a dry personality, right? A little bit, a little bit. Okay. And so let's say and he's very technical. I think everybody knows Bill Gates is extremely technical. So if Bill Gates is on here and he's speaking in a very monotonous voice, he's using extremely technical terms, he's telling you exactly how to color hair. Let's say he's telling you how to do balayage. Okay. But Bill Gates is telling you how to do balayage, and he could have all of the answers correctly, but he's speaking in a super technical terms. He's super dry. Okay. It might be hard for you to learn from him. Get what I'm saying? Okay. You get what I'm saying? All right. In addition, okay, so you have to find your teacher. Okay. There's a lot of people that teach the same thing. So you have to find your teacher. YouTube has a lot of information, but it doesn't have everything. It doesn't have, guess what? How many of you guys have gone on YouTube and they're showing you something technical to do, and you go watch the video and you still can't do it? Okay. Happened to me. Okay. Even me being super technical, I have gone on YouTube and I've literally watched a video about something, and then I couldn't execute. In addition, let me tell you this, part of the reason that I made part of my program is meeting with people weekly is because technology is constantly changing. Technology changes all the time. And so if you don't have a regular communication with your instructor, a way that you can ask them questions, you know what I'm saying? It's not easy. Okay. So listen, I have taken courses online. That's why I'm kind of over courses right now. My stuff is a group coaching program. I don't really like doing courses as much because I want to be able to ask questions. Sometimes your one small question that you can ask that person in the moment can change the game for you. Like it can change everything for you, small questions. And for me, the reason why it took me so many years to figure out how to make the six figures online is because I didn't have access to ask somebody questions. Like I literally didn't have access to ask them questions. Okay. Now I'll also tell you this on YouTube, y'all listen. They want you to believe that everything is on their YouTube video because they're on YouTube, their goal is different than somebody who's teaching an online course. Okay? Or somebody who's teaching education online. The people on YouTube, their goal is different. Their goal is to get views, likes, shares, right? So they can get paid by YouTube, right? Now, then there's other people online, and they'll give you just enough information to be dangerous, but they're not going to give you everything. They're going to lead you right up to the edge, but you're not going to be able to do everything. Okay. And their goal is for you to sign up for their program. Or you've got other people that might give you a little bit more information, but the information that they're giving you is more for you to, it's more for the fact that they want you to sign up for something else. They're doing affiliate marketing. Okay. So don't let the fact that something is on YouTube deter you from doing something. Okay. Don't let that, guys, listen, don't let that deter you. Okay. Just because there's something on YouTube doesn't mean that your people trust those people. That's why it's so important that you have to build your own community. Okay. Listen, I've looked and seen things on YouTube, and I've still paid for courses, thousands and thousands of dollars for courses. Okay. So, you have to decide. It's up to you. I don't want that to be your excuse for not doing something. Okay? There's a lot of stuff on YouTube, but it does not take away the value of your voice. Okay? You still have a voice. You have something specific to offer. And that's another thing that I want you guys to understand is that when you guys are teaching your class, this is your strategy. This is your method, okay? Like really put your own personal twist on it and make sure that, you've taken whatever thing that you've mastered and you've made it your own. Okay? You're not literally just regurgitating what you learned from somebody else. Okay, that's not what you want to do. You want to make sure that you have taken that thing and you've added your own twist to it, your own unique way that you do things. Okay? All right? Yeah, y'all. YouTube will have you messed up. Okay? And I'm saying messed up because people think everything is on YouTube. And that's why sometimes people won't want to purchase a class. They're like, "Oh, I'm just going to go look on YouTube." Okay? YouTube is not going to give you accountability. YouTube, just because, okay, let's say even if you have a question, you type it in YouTube, okay, it does not mean that they're going to go into great detail responding to your question or your comment so that you're going to be able to execute on it. They can't even add pictures. They can't even add pictures to respond to your comment or your question on YouTube. So don't let that. I know I talked about that a lot, but don't let the fact that people are posting videos on YouTube, don't let that be your excuse for not executing and doing your own online and digital content. There's so many things that you can do that are not even on YouTube, like just like this right here that I shared with you guys, right? I shared this is part of my program and it's my calculator. I'm showing people because I want people to make goals for how much money they want to make. This is a calculator that I sell. This is part of my program, right? This is the goal calculator. I know that 100% of the people will purchase that main class and 50% of my people purchase my order bump and about 20% of my people purchase my upsell. Okay? This is my calculator. So see how all you have to do is plug into the yellow, okay? And you can adjust these things. You see? And see how the numbers adjust? This is a calculator. You can make a calculator. Okay? You can literally make a calculator. All right. There's so many different types of digital products. It's not just video. Okay. And a lot of this stuff, even just watching, doesn't bring the message home. Sometimes there's a download that you need to have. Sometimes, I mean, there's so many different things. Okay. It's not just that. All right. All right. I know Pam's like, Lord, why did I ask that question? No, I'm glad you asked that. That was a really good question, Pam. Okay. So if you guys are just joining, I am talking to you about my new points and reward system that I'm offering in the six-figure business system. It's super important nowadays that you have some type of accountability. You've got an accountability partner. And so my new reward system allows me to be your accountability partner to make sure that you are doing the work. You're doing the thing so that you can make six figures of digital content alone. Okay. It's not as easy as people will make it seem sometimes. And I get a little frustrated when and I, like I said, I'm super technical. I get a little frustrated when I hear sometimes people talking about it and they're like, oh, all you have to do, record a video and just post it and people will buy it. That really work like that. Okay. Okay. A lot of times I have recorded tons of videos. I literally have 100 classes in my online school. I've deleted some, but I literally have 100 classes and I used to be so proud, right? People used to come to me and I say, hey, go to my online school. And people would scroll through. And at this time, I probably had about 20 classes. People would scroll through my classes and they would come back to me after they go, now what class should I start with? Like, I don't even know where to start. And they would get so confused and they would not buy. Okay, so now even if you go online right now, you won't even see. You're like, oh, 100 classes. Let me go see what she got. Y'all can't find it. I don't have it published in a way that people can say because it's really important that you just promote one thing at a time. Okay? You have to really promote one thing at a time or else you will confuse your audience. Okay? Well, that's one thing you do not want to do. You do not want to confuse your audience, okay? And so it's super important that you make sure that you are intentional. Okay? You're intentional, you have the roadmap, okay? So, and that's what accountability will do for you, okay? Just like how when we want to go somewhere, right? What do we do before these phones, right? If we want to go somewhere, We're going to go type in the address to where we're going into our phones, right? And then we're going to follow the navigation and it's going to show us how to get from where we are to where we want to be. Okay. Now, imagine, okay, imagine this, okay. Um, Imagine if your navigation was like, oh yeah, you can go that way if you want. Or yeah, you can turn left if you want to too. Yeah, you can turn right. That's okay. You can go that way also. It will become very confusing, right? We need to know one path, one right way so that we can get to our goal. Now, later on, if you start going to the same location over and over, you might say, oh, you know what? I found a shortcut. Oh, you know what? There's a new road over here that, let me go this way. Okay. So you have a whole bunch of different paths to get to the same way, but up front, it will be very confusing to have a whole bunch of different ways to get to the same destination. And so it's really important just to have that one roadmap, the one direct, one way to get there before you start trying different ways. Okay. So let me see if there's any more questions. Guys, this is Beauty to Bank. I come here every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I want to share with you guys information about how to bring your knowledge of the beauty industry straight to the bank. I help established beauty professionals learn how to take their knowledge and package it up into digital products so that you can start creating a passive stream of income and avoid burnout behind the chair. Okay. So how many of y'all are feeling burned out? Okay. How many of you guys are feeling burned out and you kind of feel like, dang, like tired, right? I don't feel like going to work today, but I got to go to work to make the money, right? And you're kind of like, I don't see a different way. Okay. And I'm not telling anybody to stop standing behind the chair, but I want to give people choices. I want to offer people other methods to make money, that is not an equal exchange of time for money. Okay. So if I know a lot of hairstylists are really good at looking at how much money they make per hour. So when you're doing digital content, the money is not the same. Okay. You can make $100 an hour. You can make $1,000 in an hour. You can make $10,000 in an hour. It's the same amount of effort. You just need to make sure that you have your systems set up so that you can handle 1,000 people or 10,000 people or even more at a time. Okay. So you have to make sure that you have, that you're able, you have the capacity to do it, but it's the same amount of effort. Isn't that crazy? The same amount of effort to service 10,000 people as to service one person. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. And so that's what I do. What I offer is information. It's about giving you a lifestyle with choices in it. Okay. So let me go ahead and share this link here. I do want to invite you guys. I am doing a live masterclass on Wednesday, and I'm going to be sharing with you the details behind how you can go ahead and you can make six figures with your digital content alone. Like I finally figured out how to do, guys, after having my online school for so long. And so I'm going to share that with you guys here. I'm going to drop this link in here. Okay, I'm going to drop this link in here. And I want to go ahead and invite you guys to join me on Wednesday night. This is a free event. Okay, it's free event. It is live. And you do want to make sure, guys, just because of technology, there are limits on how many people can join. Okay, there are actually limits here, but I want you guys to go ahead. I actually went ahead and I dropped the link in there again, even though it's in the description. But I want to invite you guys to come and join me live. All right. So let me see. I don't see any other questions. If you guys do have other questions, feel free to contact me via text. Okay, I actually do have a texting community. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and drop that in here as well. Okay, 704 327, okay, 327-0387. Okay. If you guys have any questions or whatever, feel free to contact me via text as well. I would love to hear from you, answer any of your questions. And just like I appreciate Pam so much for being so vocal and saying the things that so many other people are thinking. And if you have questions, you know what I'm saying, like those things, ask it. Like I'm not afraid to answer any of those questions. I've thought about all of these types of things. I went through it. I, was like, how do you crack the code? How do you do this? And so it's not as easy as people will make you think that it is. But I've made all the mistakes. Okay. I've made all the mistakes. Okay. And that's why I love talking about this. Okay. David, I'm not quite sure how your question applies to this. I'm not quite sure how that comes into play about inflation. I'm not quite sure how that comes into play. I do find that for me, I'm helping other people make money. If you are helping people learn how to make more money, I do find that that's always an easy sale, right? If you are teaching anybody a skill, a service, something that's going to help them make more money, that's always an easy sale. So I hope that that helps you, David. But if you have any other questions, let me know. All right, guys. Well, this has been Beauty to Bank. I am here every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I want to thank you guys for joining me. Have a good one.